I finally watched The Secret of Us with the LINGORM ship coupledom, and I have a lot to say, so let's just get into this video. So I originally watched this, and I have like notes. So let me get into my notes. Like I said, I have things to say. Let's go over this show. So first of all, so The Secret of Us, it's like a Thai GL, obviously girls love drama that follows the emotional roller coaster of Earn and Lada, two women with a complicated romantic history and overbearing family interference, mostly from Lada's family. The show blends like drama, comedy, and cultural tension with some light romance and over the top emotional scenes. Very, very over the top. Okay. So the main plot points here, you got Earn and Lada. They have like this rekindled romance. Earn and Lada share like a deep romantic past, which is revealed through flashbacks. Man, Thai GLs love a flashback. They reconnect after time apart, but lingering resentment and misunderstandings complicate things, and their reunion is sudden and fraught with emotional whiplash, just left and right. And this is mainly because the whole plot point is basically that Earn breaks up with Lada because of Lada's mother like tells her to break up with her so that her mom could get this like life-saving cancer treatment. And all of this could have been like cleared up if she just would have communicated that, but she didn't. She just broke up with her and then comes back into her life and then still doesn't tell her what exactly happened. It's so frustrating. Anyway, the cultural and family pressure is there. You got Lada's mother, who's super homophobic and manipulative, going as far as to blackmail Earn into breaking up Lada. This leads to a heartbreaking breakup scene, and it is over dramatic. It is crazy. Her dad is actually pretty supportive, but he's like really passive. He doesn't really like say anything or get involved in anything, even though he knows what's going on. It's so weird. And the story kind of heavily critiques traditional expectations and parental control, which I'm assuming is a really big deal in Thailand. I don't know. I'm not from Thailand culture. I'm from the United States, where it's very individualistic and you do things according to your own beliefs. And it's very common not to follow what your parents say. I mean, unless you're like in certain parts of the United States, that might be like an expectation or from certain backgrounds, but the American dream is very like individualistic and very much about yourself. So very different from Thai culture. So there's miscommunication and jealousy. So most of their problems stem from Earn not telling Lada the truth about why she left in the beginning. So there's misunderstandings, there's jealousy games that come about with the other character Rati and Inkfa, which I don't love. And there's excessive like pride that prolongs the like reconciliation. Then there's workplace drama and side characters. So it's set largely in the hospital that Lada works at, and her parents like own it, I guess. They started it. And it's got some hilarious moments, some gossip-loving coworkers, which is pretty common for Thai GLs. The side plots include some minor romances, especially between Dr. Bo and Dr. Wisanu. It adds a little bit of levity and some queerness into the mix, which I like, because I was like, as soon as Dr. Bo started interacting with Dr. Wisanu, I was like, oh, this is gay. Like, this is hella gay. And then there were some gay ass moments with them as well. There were a lot of queer moments between those two characters that I really love to see. Big moments. Earn fakes a medical emergency to see Lada. That's some red flag behavior. She literally, the first time it happens, she eats banoffee pie when they're dating and doesn't tell her she has an allergy. Has to go to the hospital. Second time it happens, she does it on purpose to get Lada's attention. What? What? Okay, Lada's mom tries to force an arranged marriage in public, which is fucking crazy, with a dude who's clearly gay. Not interested in her, but family pressures. There's emotional scenes of heartbreak and reunion, often relying on like really slow motion, crying montages, dramatic lighting. It is over the top. All of the dramatic scenes, I'm just like, this telenovela is telenoveling, okay? And then there's a final reconciliation, comes after Lada finally finds out the truth about her parents, but she finds out by eavesdropping on her parents' conversation. So she doesn't even find out from Earn. I'm like, what the fuck? The resolution, after countless misunderstandings, there's tears and family conflicts. Lada stands up for herself and moves out. Her mother finally comes around and gives her blessing, and the couple has a dramatic fairy tale wedding with all their friends present. There's an iconic puzzle in the show that's symbolizing Earn's dream of like having a home and a relationship or whatever, and that at the end of the show, like they move into that house. It's over the top. It is ridiculous, but it's sweet and it's cute. I want to talk about the tone and give some background about like chemistry and the acting and stuff like that. So chemistry wise, while the show delivers like these emotional highs, the actual chemistry between the leads feels kind of awkward at times, particularly in the intimacy scenes. It just wasn't giving. My wife wasn't even watching the show. She would watch it every like couple of minutes. She'd pop in here and there and she'd be like, what? Where's they don't have any chemistry whatsoever. They don't seem like they are into each other. And I was like, they don't. They really don't. And the acting wise, some of the performances are powerful, but I would say a lot of them, like the crying scenes, are just over the top, and then they become funny because not on purpose, unintentionally funny, just because it's over the top. And then the themes of the show are like love and family, family duty, self worth, forgiveness, queer identity, cultural expectations. They all play a role in this. Overall, what are my thoughts? I think The Secret of Us has like moments of charmingness, of some funny humor, emotional depth at times, but leans heavily on melodrama. So it's just packed with just like a little bit too much over the topness. But it's it's got heart. It's got intention, but kind of stumbles on that execution. Maybe because of the pacing and maybe the intimacy. It's just really not there. The editing could have been done a little bit better, but I think it's good. It's a nice slow burn. It's a nice love story that has a happy ending, and it's worth the ride. TLDR, it's a fine show. The show is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Would I watch it again? Maybe. I don't know. With Ling Orm situation, that ship, I feel like they're very awkward and weren't really into each other, during the filming of this. And from what I've seen since the show came out and them being public, it seems that Orm is very, very much into Ling, and Ling has slowly became like more open to Orm. And I don't know if that's in a romantic sense or if that's just, being better working partners together and getting more chemistry. But they do seem to have better chemistry now than they did when they made the show. And they have another show coming out called Only You. So I'm assuming when that show comes out, that will show more of their chemistry, that it has grown over time. And I hope so, because it's a lot better off screen than I've seen on screen thus far. But overall, it's a fine show, and I will watch Only You. I'll check that out. Is it called Only You series or something like that? I'll watch their next series and see what that's about. But otherwise, I'm not super sold on them as a couple or a ship, because it doesn't seem real. It seems like fan service. So we'll see what happens. Things change. People get influenced or just get better at doing fan service. So maybe I'll be interested in the future. But as of right now, it's just a fun little ride. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Mod systemet vi bokser. De andre hopper som lopper, imens jeg også er en hostel.